This is Good Morning San Diego.
We have paella happening today. Paul with Paul's Paella is going to be here with a patriotic paella ahead of Veterans Day. He's going to be cooking it all morning long, and we are here for the process. We'll be right back with much more on Good Morning San Diego.
I guess not.
We're actually outside, Paul, because we are speaking with Paul of Paul's Paella, who is already cooking away this morning. Got here very early. Paul, you are seasoning your meat that you've started with as you make a patriotic paella ahead of Veterans Day for us.
Red, white, and indigo.
Yeah, blue's a little hard. So what's in the special seasoning bowl here?
Typical spices you'll see in a paella in Spain. A little bit of turmeric, paprika, garlic, onion, coriander, allspice, cloves, salt and pepper.
Tell us, we've had you on a number of times, and we rarely get the chance to talk a little bit about the history of paella and its origins. Can you enlighten us a little, please?
Sure. That's a big debate in Spain. But the fact is, obviously, the guy who invented paella, the same guy who invented combing your hair. It's prehistoric. Cooking grains with meats, it's a natural thing to do. Paella in its current form, though, comes from Valencia, Spain. It is not a Spanish dish. It is a Valencian dish. And I'll be happy to argue with any Spaniards about that, okay? The Moors were in Spain for 700 years. They introduced rice. They reintroduced saffron. If you look, that's a 200-year-old tray there from Turkey. North Africa, Eastern Mediterranean, the Middle East, they cooked in these big trays, right?
Right.
Well, the Spanish just looked at that and instead of bronze or copper or brass, let's do it out of steel because it had that Roman tradition. So think of it as medieval fusion food.
I like that. Medieval fusion food, and it tastes delicious. So, what you're starting, this is a meat lover's paella?
Yeah, that's the favorite of this KUSI crowd. Lots of chicken and pork. So that's where you get a lot of flavor. The most common paella made is seafood, and it's mostly for tourists. Because it looks good in recipes, pictures or posters. Okay. But the Valencians going, seafood? Are you kidding me? You can't get that flavor into the rice. But that's the most common, but the best is the meat lovers. And in Spain, a real paella is a Valenciana, which has rabbit and snails, which obviously I don't do. It is American crowd.
Thanks for not doing that.
You're welcome.
So we're going to watch the process as we do with Paul this morning, and we will see this beautiful paella come together in its patriotic form by the end of Good Morning San Diego. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with much more news and weather. Stay with us.
All right, let's start.
Paul.
Thank you. Very, very welcome. Paul's Paella is out on our patio cooking up a patriotic-themed paella.
Yes, it's going to end up red, white, and blue, or indigo, as he says. Blue's kind of hard in the culinary world, I guess. But the weather is going to see a warm-up, even though we're starting off in the 40s, Diane. Woo. And then Paul's Paella. We are working on a patriotic paella this morning because of Veterans Day, obviously. So
is that a fire extinguisher?
That's wine.
Oh, that's the special sauce. Look at that.
Yeah, lots of that. So it smells really great out there.
Sure does.
So
I just love all the tools. He looks like he should be in a dungeon somewhere with all the torture tools.
Well, he had a 200-year-old tray out there he was talking about. So, yeah, a lot of history with paella.
Paul's Paella is out on the patio cooking up a dish for Veterans Day. A very patriotic image will be coming your way before the end of Good Morning San Diego, so make sure to stick around for that.
We're sending it outside to Paul with another Paul.
Yes, Paul squared, and here comes the broth. Yeah. Let there be broth as Paul's paella takes another step. What is it? What are we pouring on to your concoction right now?
This is my stock. It's mostly a chicken stock. This is a chicken and pork paella. And I have some basic spices that are very typical for a paella.
Standard stuff.
Yeah, standard
Run
stuff.
over that list just quickly.
Sure, salt, pepper, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, some coriander, some allspice,
All over the
fennel.
counter.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you know, the saffron, that small container there will have a saffron stock. I'll add that in a bit. So, let me get this thing stirred out. I'm gonna turn my heat back on. I turned that off.
We should note that you're just back. This is your first stateside paella since returning from, where were you?
I was in Spain. I went to Valencia, which is the heartland of paella.
Was this business or pleasure, or both?
It ends up being both. It's business. Because I go there to Valencia, and I talked to the world's reigning champion.
And that
paellero.
is? Who is that?
That's Juan Jose Don Bartolomeo Ufra, you know, and
He's Mr. Paella.
He won this year's competition.
All right,
yeah.
so did you guys talk trade secrets?
A little bit, yeah. He kind of confirmed how I was using my bomba rice from Valencia. So, and I learned a few things. Like, he's into experimenting too, even though that's supposed to be a no-no.
And he served you, right?
Huh? Yeah, I know. I didn't realize it, but
you ate his paella.
He was serving me the paella. He was a waiter, and then I saw the picture on the wall. And, hey, wait a minute, that's him.
All right, well that's freaky then.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So then,
very humble guy. Yeah.
Well, and did his paella taste like your paella? I mean, was there noticeable difference? By the way, I like the warmth here.
He made a traditional Valenciana, which is rabbit and snails.
So that's significantly different than what we're doing here.
Yes, that is the real. When people say real paella, it's rabbit and snails, and if it's got seafood in it, it's not a Valenciana. Okay, which something I can't make here.
So we're not going to hunt down bunny rabbits here. All right, but still, it had to be fun talking to the Grand Master, right?
Yeah, we were talking a good 20, 30 minutes.
How old is he?
He's a little younger than me. I would say he's been maybe his mid-50s, you know?
Wow.
So...
Man, you should have him come stateside and have him...
You know what?
We'll give him a spot here on the patio.
He said he's willing to come out next July. That'd be kind of cool having the reigning champion of the world, you know, on KUSI.
Next July, this place will be a palace. This is going to be a studio palace. It would be fitting a master paella. All this is going to be changed. We're rebuilding.
Of course, he's going to make a Valenciana, which means rabbit and snails.
I thought I saw a rabbit. All right, we'll be back with more. This concoction is going to be spectacular, both visually and gastronomically. So we'll talk about that with Paul as we continue to come out here on the patio. You're watching the one, the only. Good Morning San Diego. Well, Paul's Paella is out on the patio cooking up a storm for Veterans Day.
Coming up, we're going to check back in with him to see how it's coming along. Oh, the design is going into effect right now. We're out on the patio yet again talking with Paul of Paul's Paella, as now the design element is coming into play here. Paul, tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, you know, I believe in decorating the entire surface of paella. It's big and it's flat. It's a food canvas to me. And I'm going to use patriotic colors, red, white, and blue, or in this case, red, white, and indigo, because I can't think how to do blue without poisoning you, and that'd be uncool.
Explain what you do to the red cabbage to make it become this indigo color.
First of all, you boil it, so that makes it a little bit darker color. This time I added some butterfly pea flower petals from India. If you boil that in straight water with nothing else, it turns a bright blue. With the cabbage, it helped me get a little less purple, a little more blue.
Yeah, I see that.
So
I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it is a really beautiful color. And you know, where did this design element for paellas come into play?
You know, my background is Maltese, not Spanish, and I got into the habit of putting Maltese crosses in the center. And people thought that was cool, so I started buying cookie cutters and cake rings.
Yeah. And
I got a buddy who has a machine plant, cut some molds out for me, and I got to the idea of just decorating the entire surface, a food canvas. So, and you know, you do something like that. I get people who will copy me all the time, but as soon as they get the hate mail from Spain, they stop. They don't understand kind of the weird history paella has in Spain, why they're not allowed to experiment. But we certainly are, and I do. Just look what we did to the pizza, right?
Yes.
So
this is beautiful, and I see you have cashew nuts in there as well. You've added the rice. So what comes next?
All I'm doing right now is the decoration, and that's about 40% of my effort. So It's I do things differently. My paellas take me about a good 3.5 hours to cook, just cooking. 2 days to prep. So,
oh, well, it is beautiful, and we are looking forward to seeing the final product. Paul, thank you so much for bringing your patriotic paella here this morning in honor.
My pleasure, always.
In honor of Veterans Day, and we're looking forward to showing everyone the final product.
Bring your Tupperware.
Here soon. We'll bring our Tupperware.
Like Jason did.
Exactly. We'll be right back with much more on Good Morning San Diego. Stay with us.
Finish up with a final look at Paul's paella. And oh, look at that. The imagery that is being, as he slowly works his way towards the finish line.
Wow. Okay.
How's the paella looking there?
Yeah.
Well, the paella appears complete, does it not?
Wow.
Yes, it is.
Except for the little minuscule adjustments you're making.
Adjustments.
I can't even see what you're doing.
It's a work of art, Paul, as always. So this is our red, white, and blue patriotic paella. Tell us about the final touches here.
Final touch right now, I'm going to put like 1 minute of high heat on.
Okay.
And that's to get a little
thank
caramelization
you.
on the bottom. Oh, you might appreciate that too.
That was my own personal heater down there.
Everything here is superficial, just for decoration. Again, it's big and it's flat. To me, that means canvas. So make it presentable, you know. And this is just hominy, or wet popcorn, as I like to call it. Red pepper, and this is red cabbage boiled with Indian butterfly pea flower petals. Give it a little bit more of a blue. It's still more indigo, but it's a little more blue than last time I tried this. And just decorating with quail eggs and tomatoes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Does it ever make you a little sad to see your design
Yeah, thank
dug
God
into?
for Instagram, right?
Right.
Yeah, you know, I always say regret with the first scoop that goes away with the first bite. So
Yes,
but at least
and the praise of how good it tastes, right?
that's it. That's the bottom line. It's got to taste better than it looks. So it should.
And this will feed how many?
This one here will feed, right around 20 to 40 people based on how much rice I put in, and that is ready. My portion, and I like big portions. That's part of my Maltese heritage, so. And that's okay. You know, typically, very few paellas in Spain are ever more than 50% consumed on the first day. They make it with leftovers in mind.
Oh, wow.
So, and I always bring 10, so you'll have a couple days of this
take
stuff.
a Tupperware.
What is about leftovers that tastes so good? What happens to the food overnight?
The spices and the juices, everything gets to simmer in there. So I got a lot of flavor in that rice. Overnight, more flavors are going to get into that rice, and it gets spread around. It's just, most things are like that.
Wow.
So you will go out and cater these events, and December's typically your biggest of
Holidays.
year,
Yeah, I'm
part
a
of the year,
great
yeah.
way to feed a lot of people relatively inexpensively. So,
Right.
So
and this time of year, that's important, right? I mean,
well, you want to spend money on presents, right?
Right.
So, and this is a good way. January, as you might figure, is probably my least busy month. So, but because everyone spends too much on Christmas.
Well,
So-
it looks stunning. We
Thank you.
will, I guess, dig in. shortly.
where can people
place
find
behind
you?
it.
Where can people find you?
Paul's Paellas, S after Paul, after Paella. I said that, and just, if you just type in Paul's Paellas in your browser, type in Paul's Paellas, KUSI, and you'll see the 15 paellas I've done on TV.
Oh,
So,
wow. So you're
yeah.
keeping track. 15 this
You
week.
guys,
All
I'm gonna have to
right.
start experimenting with some radical stuff with you folks.
Yeah.
Because you're my most experienced paelleros here in Southern California.
Paelleros.
Well,
You're a
Paelleros.
You're a paellero.
Paellero.
I will
Yeah.
gladly be that, and I will gladly taste the experiments.
I can't wait.
So thank you, Paul, so much.
You're
it looks
very
very
welcome.
patriotic
Very-
ahead of Veterans Day as we celebrate our veterans, and look forward to digging in. We'll be right back with much more on Good Morning San Diego.